Welcome back to this lesson. So in this activity, we want to look at the third law of indices, which is called the product law. Product law. So hope you've been following so far and hope you're getting the lesson and everything we've been discussing. So this is the product law. This is the expression. Remember, product law says a product of power. You have a power raised to another power, so you multiply the powers. Whenever you have a power raised to another power, you multiply the power. So in short, a raised to power n parenthesis n is equal to a raised to power m times n. Okay, and this can be written as a raised to power mn. Of course, if it is number, you're going to multiply them together. So of course, knowing that you understand this law, let's try to look at examples involving the usage of this law. So if you have any question, do not hesitate to ask in the chat so I can explain and feel the point of view. Okay. So example 1, simplify the following. Example 1, 2 raised to power 3 parenthesis 2 raised to power 4. So we have a power in the parenthesis, we have a power outside the parenthesis. So we simply multiply the powers. So that will be 2 raised to power 3 times 4, which is 3 times 4 is 12. So that will be 2 raised to power 12. Example 2, x raised to power 3 parenthesis 5. So you multiply, remove the parenthesis and multiply. So that will be x raised to power 3 times 5, which is 15. So that will be x raised to power 15. And then we have b raised to power 7 parenthesis m. Remove the parenthesis and multiply the power. You have 7 times m, which is b raised to power 7m. So this is how you apply this law. It's very simple and straightforward. Let's look at more example involving this law. Activity 4, still on the same law, but we have a more expression inside the parentheses. Express the following in simplest form without brackets. So we're going to simplify using the product law, okay, because it is product law that is applicable here. Number 1, 4ab raised to power 3. We expand the bracket. Everything is raised to this power, so we expand the power. So we have 4 raised to power 3 times a raised to power 3 times b raised to power 3. That's what we are going to do. And of course, you know that 4 raised to power 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. So a raised to power 3 is still a raised to power 3. You can't simplify that. B raised to power 3. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 will be what? Good, 64. So this is 64 multiplied by a raised to power 3 times b raised to power 3. And if we multiply all of them together, we have 6 a raised to power 3 b raised to power 3. This is how you multiply. A, B are unlike terms with 64, so you just combine them and leave the answer like that. Do you understand? Good one. So let's take the second one. Number 2. 2c all over d raised to power 5. This is equal to, or you can expand, 2 times c all over d raised to power 5, okay, and then we can simplify further. So that will be 2 raised to power 5 times c raised to power 5 all over d raised to power 5, okay. 2 raised to power 5, that will be 32, right? And that will be 32 c raised to power 5 all over d raised to power 5. So c and d are unlike terms with 32, so you leave the answer like that. So now pause the video and answer the third question, and then let's solve it together. Welcome back. So let's solve the third one together. 3a raised to power 3b all raised to power 4. So we have number 3, 3a raised to power 3, b raised to power 4. So we expand everything. That'll be 3 times a raised to power 3 times b all raised to power 4, and then we expand, raising everything to the power of 4. So that'll be 2 raised to power 4 multiplied by a raised to power 3 raised to power 4 multiplied by b raised to power 4. So we apply the product law to that of a. So we have 3 raised to power 4 times a raised to power 3 times 4 times b raised to power 4. Hope you understand what is happening there. So 3 raised to power 4 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 4 times. So that will be 81 times a. 3 times 4 is 12. B raised to power 4, okay? So we have 81 a raised to power 12, b raised to power 4, and that is what we have here. Okay. So if you get it correctly, you're going to give yourself 5 marks. So here is 2, mark here and mark here, and this is 2, 2, 1, okay? So that is 5. Let's take the next example. Another example, simplify the following. So we're going to simplify using the same principle, okay? Number 1, x raised to power 2 all over 2y to the power of 3. So we expand using the power. That's x raised to power 2 raised to power 3 all over 2y to the power of 3, okay, and then we continue simplifying like that. So that will be x raised to power 2 times 3 all over 2 raised to power 3 times y raised to power 3. Hope you understand. It's just expand step by step. Do not rush, so you don't miss out a step. So 2 times 3 is 6, so we have x raised to power 6 over 2 raised to power 3, that will be 8, multiplied by y raised to power 3. And then we now combine everything together, making x raised to power 3, 8y raised to power 3. And that is the simplest form. Okay, so this is how you simplify indices. It's very easy. Now pause the video and answer number 3 and number 2 and number 3. Welcome back. Now let's solve together. So for number 3, we have 20a raised to power 9. Okay, so that should be 9. Sorry, guys. 9. 20a raised to power 9 all over 4a squared. Okay, so 20a raised to power 9 all over 4a squared. We're going to have this. Number 2, 20a raised to power 9 all over 4a squared. Okay, remember collecting like terms when you have a number and a letter. So we have 20 over 4 times a raised to power 9 over a squared. So 20 divided by 4, that will be 5. And then we apply the division law here. A raised to power 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is going to be 7. So we have 5 times a raised to power 7. So which is 5a raised to power 7. So this is going to be a bonus for us because I put a in that place. Okay, sorry about that. So number 3. Let's solve number 3 together. So for number 3, we have 3x squared multiplied by 5x raised to power 5. Collect like terms. Bring the numbers together. 3 times 5. Bring the letters together. X squared times x raised to power 5. Now multiply the numbers. 3 times 5. We have 15. Multiply the letters using the product law or multiplication law. So we have x raised to power 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. So we have 15 multiplied by x raised to power 7, and that will be 15x to the power of 7. So this is what we have. So if you get this correctly, you're going to mark and give yourself 5 mark there. Okay, 5 mark if you get all the steps. If you miss a step, your mark is going to be 4 over 5. Okay, so this is how you apply this product law, and this is how you use it to simplify a problem. So in this lesson here, summary, we've applied the law. A raised to power n equals to a raised to power n times n, and a all over b raised to power n equals to a raised to power n all over b raised to power n. And then we've also applied the law, or this law, a b raised to power n equals to a raised to power n b raised to power n. Okay, so they all